What if you could do more with your cause and streamline your operations, all without stretching your budget or your calendar? Welcome to a step-by-step guide on how to leverage Steward, an AI assistant tailor-made for small nonprofits to help you do more with the time and resources you have. So if you're looking to speed up tasks, get help with creative work, or simply explore the potential that AI has for your org, you're in the right place. I'm going to go and show you how to navigate Steward, how to craft effective prompts, and share pro tips to get the most out of this powerful tool. So let's get started. First, let's understand what Steward is. Steward is an AI assistant powered by technology similar to ChatGPT, but it's designed and trained to be an expert in the nonprofit sector. It's capable of performing a variety of tasks, from administrative assistance, like asking it a question, to analyzing data, to content creation, like writing a social media post or an email to your donors, all the way up to helping you with strategic planning, which we're going to use as a use case today. So for an example today, I created a fake local food bank, and we're going to create some content and planning around their annual fundraiser event. So first, we're going to start by asking Steward to create the promotional plan for that. So this is Steward. As you can tell, it's just a chat window. The link to Steward is in the description below, and it's got a few starter prompts here, things like, what are some things I can ask you to help me with? But I'm going to copy a pre-made prompt over here, and all of these pre-made prompts will be in the description below as well. You can use it for inspiration or use them however you'd like. So this prompt is: create a promotional plan for our annual fundraiser, detailing how and where to share the event to reach a wider audience effectively. The nonprofit is called Harvest Hope Food Pantry. The event is called Table of Plenty Fundraiser. It is on May 5th from 6 to 9 p.m. Tickets are $50. There will be a silent auction. So I'm going to hit send here, and it's going to start replying. And the first tip that I want to give you here is to be very specific with your prompts. So when you can, the more details you provide Steward, the better the response will be. So we'll let this finish here. A way to think of AI is not as a replacement for anybody, but as an assistant for everybody. The plan that this is creating is going to be a fantastic starting point. You're going to spend way less time starting from this than from a blank page. And so it's done here. Let's take a look at what it created. So it's basically giving you a few starting points. You got to define your audience and your objectives of the event, craft a message, which we're going to do here in a second, utilize multi-marketing channels, flyers and posters, work on engaging with your corporate partners. So it's giving you some really good starting points, right? And this is where AI shines. It's fantastic at getting you 80% of the way there, which can honestly save you a lot of hours. So we've got that. Now that we have the promotional plan, let's ask Steward to help draft the content for that plan. Steward often takes into account the previous prompts and responses, so I'll prompt it with creating an invitation email for the event above. So let me grab that. And that prompt is: create an invitation email for the promotional plan above that has a call to action to RSVP and creates a sense of urgency. This email will be sent to past and current donors. Second tip here is to give it context when you can. So it knows to write for past and current donors. All right, so now that's done. Let's take a look at it. Gives you some really good templates, gives you a place to set it, with the name of the event date. Sometimes it'll fill this in, but it is AI. It's not going to be exact every time. So I had given it this information up above, but it chose not to use it. But you can fill this in very easily where the brackets are, and gives you some good bullet points. Looks like this is a pretty long email, so you can decide if you want to shorten it, and you can even prompt it to do that. So you can iterate with this AI. So maybe you decide that this is too long. You could say, shorten this email. And there we go. So now you can see that it actually pulled in the correct dates and times from above. So sometimes it'll do it, sometimes it won't, but it will oftentimes give you really good templates to add in more details. Another thing we can do with iterating is change this to a text message format. So it'll shorten it, give us a really good text message to send. Awesome, that's great. So now I'm going to prompt it to help us with the social media. Generative AI, it's right in the name, it's generative. So it does a really great job of helping you with content creation, but we'll also showcase how it can help with some strategy as well. But I'm going to have it write 3 social media posts for the event. And a big piece of this too is as you create content with Steward, you can then copy it over to a Word or Google Doc and continue to massage it, right? This isn't going to be a copy, paste, send. It's going to be a copy, work with the text and make it your own, and then send. So lastly, I'd like to ask Steward to help with an event timeline, but I'm not really sure what a prompt would be or what the information it needs in order to give me something that I might not necessarily know what a good timeline would look like. So another pro tip here is if you don't know how to prompt it, ask it. So I'm going to prompt it with, what do you need from me to create an event timeline for this fundraiser? So it just listed out all of the details that it would like us to respond with. I'm not going to do that right now, but if you responded with all these details, like when will the vendors like caterers, decorators, or entertainers arrive, you can give it some of this data that it needs, and it'll return a pretty decent event timeline that you can tweak further. Which leads to the third tip, define the output. So when you clearly state what you're looking for, whether it's ideas, a draft, bullet list, or data analysis, it'll return what you're asking for. So if you ask it for, give me a bulleted list of ideas for naming this fundraiser, it'll actually just give you a list instead of a huge paragraph. You can see how in just a couple of minutes, I've gone from, hey, we need to plan an annual fundraiser to a very solid draft that we can adjust with much less effort than starting with a blank page. We have a beautifully crafted email. We have some strategy in place. We have the workings of the timeline, and we have some social media posts to schedule. Steward transforms what could be hours of work into an efficient process that enables your team to focus on the more important things like engaging with your donors, making the event a memorable success. So if you're wanting to know what else you can use Steward for, just ask it. It'll give you a really good list, but here are a few examples that I think it does a really good job with. Grant writing, you can ask it to help draft grant proposals. Best practices, because it's tuned for this sector specifically, you can get assistance and advice for this sector. Social media management, we saw a little bit of. Board meetings is a great example. It can help create an agenda for you. You can dump some data into it if you'd like to have it analyzed to give you some specific things to share with the board. You can have it help you with website content. So create some SEO content for specific keywords you're trying to get people to your website for, or just help you fill out your website without you having to write it from scratch. So that's a wrap on how to use Steward, the AI assistant for small nonprofits. By understanding its capabilities and learning how to craft effective prompts, you'll be well on your way to harnessing the full power of AI for your organization. And this is just the beginning. DonorDoc, we're doing a lot of things with AI, and we've got some stuff in the works, so stay tuned for that. And on that note, visit our website for more resources. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you'd like more tips and tricks and guides.